What's up, guys? Winter Kills here, and we are finally back with a duel video. I know it's been like 2 weeks. I've been trying to get some videos up over the past 2 weeks, and I've been scarce with them. I realize some of you may not have liked that, but that's just kind of how things have been lately. I've been very busy with other things and just have not had the time to actually get around to recording duel videos, and I've also had sort of a lack of interest in playing until Link format was actually here, because I didn't want to invest too much time into something when I knew basically everything was going to completely change once this new era has started and is finally here. And what do I have to start you guys off with here in Link era other than a Mermail duel? We have Mermails suited for Link era. And we also have me playing against here. I'm playing on the right, of course. Playing against my good friend Adam here on the left, who is playing True-Draco Invoked. So, as you can imagine, it's a pretty meta deck, pretty hard matchup. And also, keep in mind, like I said in one of my last discussion videos, which you haven't watched, you should probably go watch. Open Game Stage series, very fun series that I like doing. If you haven't checked it out yet, you probably should do so. Would appreciate that a lot. But like I said, if I make a few mistakes, please bear with me. This is like the first time on camera that I've played Mermail, probably since I made that test time video, even though that didn't go over too well because I was rusty. I'm still very rusty in this video as well here, but I like to think that it's not too bad. I'll just leave you guys up to judge, I guess. Summoning that secret rare Teus. I finally got the new rarity Teus. I picked up a playset of those. I really do like the look of them. I think they're much better than the ultra rare. I think they're a little more exciting, and I'm gonna be honest, I like it better than the ulti, strictly because Megalo, which is basically, in my opinion, the way I look at it, you know, they're both the bigger level 7 monsters. Teus is sort of like Megalo's brother, and the fact that they can both match in secret rare is really, really cool. So he's gonna Ghost Ogre the search of my Megalo, no problem. Get jebaited, son. I basically have another Megalo to, I think, end up summoning here anyways. Or that might be a different game I'm thinking of. But anyways, I'm using Abyss Osea that I got on the field via Gund, and I'm summoning out a Pike and a Gun from deck. I think since that last deck profile, I've cut a Gun, so I'm only playing 2 Gun because I seem to draw that card every single turn. Not that that's a bad thing. I would just like to, you know, see other cards maybe. But right here, I realized that I have 5 monsters on the field. I was trying to set up a Mulan play. Couldn't get that going, and I kind of played myself, if you will. So I added the Mulan. I thought I could make it happen, but I definitely goofed up something somewhere. And if I were to go back and replay it, I could probably make the correct play, but instead I go for a Link summon. A Link summon. Here I summon Decode Talker, getting rid of the 3 monsters, 3 effect monsters, to a Link of 3 to go into Decode Talker. I decided at this point, since I have Soul Charge, it wouldn't be too bad to sacrifice the monsters that I have on my field, since I couldn't use Pike. Because my field was full, I would have discarded probably the Neptibus to revive our Dragoons and go for a rank 4 play, but wasn't going to happen at that time. The position of those monsters don't really matter too much, since I synchroed them both into Tatsunoko to link it with my Decode Talker there. And now we're going to go into Soul Charge. Soul Charge, I think, was an okay call. My extra deck, mind you, is a little incomplete. I think the one thing it's missing is a Leo. I have VFD in there. I have Crystal Wing, White Aura Dolphin, Whale, Bryo, and Tatsunoko. 2 Link Spiders, a Honeybot, Decode Talker, and a Sea Monster of Theseus. Because that card is really helpful to be able to go into some level 8 since it's a level 5 tuner. And here I go into Trish. I give myself the Megalo on board so I have something to equip my Mizuchi to. He's already down 2 cards to start the turn. It's like I've Mulaned him, even though I haven't even summoned Mulan. If I would have been able to get that Mulan on board, maybe this turn would have been a little bit better, but I have 2 extra deck monsters on the field. Could have probably ended up with a Leo there, but I don't think it really would have been too much of a difference. Now, keep in mind, I've already paid 4,000 life points. He's going to burn me for another 1,300 here, putting me down to like 27 or so. And I'm sure most of you can realize where this is going. Crystal Wing will just end up beating over one of my monsters. He'll put that in his extra deck monster zone, his respective zone. And I'm realizing right now, wait a second, that's game, isn't it? Because your Crystal Wing has that effect that it has that makes it run over anything that's level 5 or higher, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just realizing, yep, that's going to be game. And we're going to go into game 2. And since I had knocked a couple cards out of his hand, I thought maybe his hand wouldn't have been that great. And he even was telling me, you know, it wasn't that great. And he just ended up top decking that Windwitch monster. But we get to go into the Gofu combo. Double Link Spider and Gofu going into none other than Decode Talker, just like that. 1-card Decode Talker. My friend on the right here was helping me a little bit. I wouldn't say maybe just tell me exactly what to do, but gave me some pointers as to how I should use the Frog Engine, because he's a experienced Paleozoic player, and he was giving me some pointers on how I should use the Frog Engine. Because a lot of times, I'll be honest, I don't use it the way I think I should. But here I use it to normal summon it to send that Ronin Toad into the grave, which ends up helping out a lot later, and I return it to the hand. So at this point, I now have discard fodder for my 1-for-1. I can go get a Neptibus, and Neptibus effect will go off. Of course, we're gonna send her to Goons, and I think I ended up adding like a Megalo and some other card. But the one thing I'm happy with about the most is the fact that I don't think I ended up adding Diva because I forgot that I already used my normal summon on the Swap Frog. But I'm really glad with how well the Gofu worked. I mean, obviously you have to hope that you open up that card, because you cannot search it the way the deck is currently, which I guess is okay. I think my build plays 2 or 3. I'm pretty sure I play 3 though. Just the offhand chance of opening it makes your plays a little bit easier to make, so you can go to the extra deck a bit faster, make some more explosive plays. And what was the other thing I was going to talk about? Oh, a lot of you guys were suggesting Fishborg Blaster. I really do want to try to get Fishborg Blaster in the deck. The friend who is on the right side of me in this video, he also has his own Mermail build as well. And he was showing me his build, and I think he played 2 Fishborg Blaster, which I wouldn't be opposed to playing, because it's basically like a recurable glow up bulb sort of type monster for waters. So here, I have been suggested that I throw a Honeybot in my extra deck. Wasn't sure why, but with the Soul Charge reviving the Link Spiders for this duel, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just throw it in. And I think I actually want to keep the Honeybot in, because I don't think it's terrible, especially if you can open Soul Charge basically after going through a Link play, basically just going into your Decode Talker, and then afterwards it works best when you open Gofu and Soul Charge. Arguably, I don't know if I'm going to keep it in, because it is a situational combo, I'm aware, and the odds of it happening probably aren't the greatest. But I'm able to end with that, you know, Toad on board, and in a standby phase, I summon out the Swap Frog, send another Swap Frog to the grave to kind of get my deck thinned a little bit, and basically have some fodder in my graveyard to be able to summon Ronin Toad if need be. And he goes to activate Magical Meltdown here. Of course, we haven't seen any True-Draco plays as of yet. We've seen some Invoked plays, but not too much in the lines of True-Draco. So yeah, see, I have 1 extra spot on my Decode Talker where I could go into an extra deck monster. If my Neptibus were to die, I could have presumably a second, because Honeybot points to his left and right side and makes it so those monsters cannot be targeted or destroyed by battle. So it's a very, very good card I really, really do like it. And of course, Decode Talker effect is really nice. It stops basically when an effect activates that would target something. You can remove one of the monsters that's attached to it to negate, and I think it just negates that card. So I end up tripping away the Honey Bot because I can't use Toad based on how Toad's like wording is. I think it's the fact that he negates trap cards and not trap effect or something along the lines of that. My friend was telling me. Which is totally fine because I do have the Decode Talker there anyways to negate the destruction of my Toad, but he ends up running over it anyways, which isn't too bad because I get to add back a Dragoons off of it, so we will take that. And he activates Diagram, and he also had mentioned, I want to mention one thing on behalf of my friend playing left there, he did forget to search a spell that he should have searched, I think, 1 or 2 times before. So I let him search the card. He gets, I think, Heritage to get that extra draw, which does presumably help him out. Does give him the extra spell card he needs to get his Masterpiece on the board. Fair enough. We all make a couple mistakes. I let him take it back. It's not a match in a tournament. We were just testing. Literally my first duel in Link era, and I actually didn't hate it. It actually wasn't bad. It wasn't as bad and as annoying as I thought it was going to be to get some plays going. You don't really have to go out of your way too much to make certain plays regarding the extra deck. We go into a second Toad here, still playing 2 Toad thanks to the Frog Engine. No more Bahamut Shark because I just don't think it's viable unless you have a whole bunch of Link monsters on the board to do so. And then we summon Megalo. No effect on Megalo because I think I've already got that Mizuchi in hand, so I don't want to risk activating an effect and have some confusion get caught up, maybe as a Ghost Ogre or something like that. Deep Sea Diva comes down. Now we're really popping off. Go for Neptibus. Thankfully, I still have another Dragoons in deck. It's a super rare Dragoons. Feels bad, man. But I guess it's okay. Now we have a matching set of secret rare Teuses. And I must say, I think after my little bout of playtesting today has sort of revived my passion for Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. I'll be honest, I was slipping a little bit. You know, the format was changing rapidly. I just didn't have the interest or the time or the you know, the feeling of just to spend money on stuff that was gonna depreciate so fast. Like, that's the one big issue for me, is the fact that sometimes you have to spend a little bit too much money to get some of the stuff that you need. But I guess it's okay now that I have a decent deck that does okay in Link era. You really only need the Decode Talker to get your plays going, and he's not that hard to make, especially with a card like Gofu, and I really hope they don't hit Gofu, or I will be upset. So here we go into White Aura Dolphin. He comes back a lot, and if he does come back a lot, he comes back as a tuner, so we can go into Crystal Wing with him because he's a Synchro tuner at that point. Just need an infantry or something like that, which is very easy to get via Diva, or just normal summoning. Very easy to get. Searchable card. Can't happen, though. I might cut the whole Crystal Wing thing, but right now I think I'm going to keep it just for now, as I swing directly in over top of his Masterpiece. It will be destroyed by battle the first time because I'm able to clear his diagram, as you saw earlier, with that infantry. Right now I have 1, 2, 3 sort of negations, if you will, in that plus formation there. The one thing I'm not fond of, though, and I guess I'm like overreacting. I guess I really don't have a reason to be not okay with it, is just the zone choice, the zone placement. Sometimes it can be a little finicky, but other times it really just, it kind of flows. I think for large tournaments, you probably should have zone playmats, but for just testing like this, I feel like you don't need it. If you have a conscience and you're somewhat capable, you can conduct a Link Air duel without added you know, zones on your playmat. You just kind of be like, okay, the Link zones are there, blah blah blah. Make sure you kind of keep track of where your 5 zones are, because it is kind of important now. You kind of do need to be aware of where you put things, because you do not want to normal summon one of your monsters that is not an extra deck monster in a zone that could possibly be open to an extra deck monster via your Link monster. So he kind of layers an extra set of thought and planning And we do tribute the Crystal Wing with the Kaiju. I was kind of concerned. I'm like, can I still tribute over top of an extra deck Monster Zone monster with a monster that's not from the extra deck? And if I'm wrong and that's not what you can do, well then goddamn, I'm taking like all the Kaijus out of my deck. Just kidding. Masterpiece is still a thing. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure it would just, you would still tribute it because Gamma Steel does not specify what zone the monster is in, as we all know. So I'm sure it would tribute the monster and then would be sent to its respective zone in the main monster zone. So here we're going to do some really cool plays. I'm going to try to focus in on exactly what it is I'm doing. We're resolving a Neptibus. I really want to hit his set back row, so what other better card to use as a scapegoat to clear that back row than an Atlantean Marksman? We discard Dragoons and Marksman, activating our effects in the proper chain link. It's a Pot of Desires. We don't want him drawing off that next turn. We get rid of that. He's showing me just how bad his hand is at this point. I think it's double Dynamite Knuckle and 2 Invocations, so it feels bad, man, for him, but that's too bad. That's Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes. We tribute away the Neptibus to summon the Dragoons. And Gund and Osea discarded. I decided to revive the Osea, his might as well. And we've got a lot of firepower on board. I've still got a instant fusion for Theseus, Sea Monster of Theseus, however you want to call it. And I'm like, wait a second. Could I possibly use this here instant fusion to bring out Theseus into the extra deck monster zone? I almost placed it in the regular monster zone for a second. Go into a level 8. Going to White Aura Whale, and it's going to blow up all attack position monsters he controls. Going to tribute for the second Megalo. And I think I end up adding Diva, actually. Second Megalo, double attack. Diva set up for next turn, and I still have Mizuchi in hand. Swinging, 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 swinging for so much damage. And ladies and gentlemen, Mermails coming up victorious over True-Draco Invoked. Of course, maybe he didn't open up too well, but really that's just how Yu-Gi-Oh! Is sometimes, and a lot of times it's just out of the player's control. But yeah, back at it. Mermails in Link format, it's definitely a viable thing. You just got to give it some thought, give it a chance. Really think more technical about your plays, and I guess to a certain aspect I like the added complexity of it. You know, you got to sort of plan out how you're going to build your board through the Link monsters. And some of the Link monsters are actually really cool. Decode Talker himself, and not half bad Link monster. Of course, Firewall Dragon. As we know, it's going to be bonkers. I really don't want him to come out because I know when he comes out, it's going to be a 3-of stable in some decks probably, and it's just going to be way too damn expensive. And I'm not going to feel like dropping the money on it, and I'll just play Mermails like I am for the end of time. No, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I have been working lately, so it is extra to come into nice to come into some extra to cash and here and there to kind of help in some parts fund some of the things that I want to buy. Yu-Gi-Oh! Related definitely does help out a little bit, and of course you guys watching videos as always helps out a lot. And one thing I want to mention here at the end of this video, my friend Adam and a couple other friends have started playing Pokemon TCG, and I myself have finally sort of gotten to the point where I'm not opposed to learning the game. It seems like a lot of fun, and it's a little bit more fair than Yu-Gi-Oh! I think in some aspects. And I love Pokemon. I've always loved Pokemon since I was a little kid. I mean, who doesn't like Pokemon? If you don't like Pokemon, you're just lying to yourself, really. Maybe you're not. I don't know. But I might end up playing Pokemon at some point, and maybe I'll record it, and maybe I'll upload Pokemon matches. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that, oh hell no, don't ever upload Pokemon on this channel? Or I wouldn't be opposed to it. It'd be a nice change of pace. They'd be commentated over, of course. It'd be very different. Sure, it'd be a very different experience, but maybe. Who knows what the future holds. Almost at 5,000 subs. Appreciate your guys' support. And again, I do apologize over the past 2 weeks. It's just been wild. I've been thinking about it every day, not being able to get up videos every day consistently. It's been eating me alive. The sub count has been going up and down. View counts on certain discussion videos not where I think they should be, based on normal viewership, and I do apologize, and I hope you guys can forgive me. But we should be back now. I'm going to try to keep going out and getting more duels and stuff like that. I've got a couple other duels that I'm going to try to get edited. This one, I'm uploading it tonight, the day that I've actually filmed the duel, on the 23rd of July, 2017, a couple days after Link Era has officially begun. Welcome to Link Era, everybody, and thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. As always, Winter Kill signing out. We'll see you in the freaking next one.